Good evening, friends. Welcome to the Brain City and PANSIGHT webinar. Let me start with the first slide. The topic for today's discussion is inspiration and desperation. I think that is most of you can recognize this personality. M.G. Ramachandran. He was the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Bharat Ratna awardee. This is, do you recognize her?
Mary Curie?
No. Helen Keller.
Helen Keller. Okay. The blind.
These are two personalities. I have plenty of other role models also. In my life, these two people acted as inspirators, role models for inspiration and for coping up with desperation. I'll tell more about that one later. This webinar is based on FEQT, facts, experience, quotes, and thoughts. A couple of books on this topic. Wayne W. Dyer, the highly motivational speaker, his book on inspiration. And The Power of Desperation, Michael Catt. Definition of inspiration: someone or something that gives you ideas for doing something. I will repeat it. Someone or something that gives you ideas for doing something. Desperation: when adverse events force you to change your mindset, your behavior, and your actions. Definitions. Are they clear? If they are clear, in the chat box, put the alphabet C. The definition must be clear. Then only you will be able to understand and appreciate. Yes, Roy Terran, thank you. The whole talk is based on facts and evidence that would substantiate this definition. This is my own quote. Inspiration comes from comfort zone. Desperation comes from discomfort zone. So, inspiration, there's no pressure. And you are going to see the people, how the inspiration stimulated them to come up with many new ideas, new inventions. Inventors and discoverers are motivated by inspiration. Sir Isaac Newton, he discovered the laws of motion. Inspiration. From where did he get that inspiration? From nature. According to the story, an apple, when you're sitting under a tree, the apple fell on his head. So that one stimulated his thinking. And that one led to the discovery of that law of motion or law of gravity. Self-educated man, genius, Thomas Alva Edison. All his inventions We didn't do that one out of desperation, out of inspiration. We are able to enjoy movies because of his invention, motion camera. Music, gramophone record. Electric bulb. For all the inventions. From the comfort zone, there is no pressure. Tony Robbins, one of the highly successful motivational speakers who is now alive. In life, you need either inspiration or desperation. His guru, Jim Rohn, was the guru of Tony Robbins. We generally change ourselves for one of two reasons, inspiration or desperation. Dennis Wakely, again a very successful motivational speaker. He's still alive. He's around 90 plus. Better to seek change by inspiration than out of desperation. You must have heard the expression that is, fix any problem in its budding phase. Don't wait for that to become a crisis. Don't let it grow and then become a big challenge. So, inspiration. Do everything out of inspiration. 8 sources of inspiration. This you won't find in any textbook. My favorite hobby is thinking. So these 8 sources I have identified. People. M.G. Ramachandran, I told you. Inspiration. When I was a child, I started watching MGR movies. Always he used to play the role of a man helping the poor, fighting against injustice. And he was a teetotaler, he was a non-smoker. He never agreed to play any character in the movie smoking cigarettes or drinking alcohol. Once he wanted to make people aware of the what you call, how bad alcohol is. So in that movie, he showed one scene, he drinks, then there's a song, he was not singing, a song, background song about the consequences of drinking. Great man. So since childhood, he became my role model, inspiration. I am also a teetotaler. I don't smoke. And I always, if possible, I always try to help the poor. And I do a little bit of some kind of a charity, so also for benefiting the poor. Everything that inspiration came from M.G. Ramachandran. Nature. Obviously, the nature inspired Sir Isaac Newton. From the nature, we learn many lessons. They motivate us and do many things, discover many things, invent many things. Incidents. In the COVID pandemic, what happened? Before that, seminars, workshops. Physically, people used to get together. They used to go to a big hotel or some other venue and do that one. Suddenly, came to a halt. Then that event, that situation, that one inspired people to come with using the webinar. Before that, there was no such thing as webinar. I heard about the webinar only after the COVID pandemic. Do you agree? If you agree, put A. Webinars has become a big business, Zoom platform, everything. Do you agree? So that is an incident. Yes, Prasad Naraju. Yeah. So I'm giving only one or two examples. That doesn't mean that there are only one or two examples. I have to finish it within 45 to 50 minutes. Experience. Personal experience also that will inspire you to do certain things. And experience of other people. Again, I'm going to come back to MGR. Before MGR became the chief minister, the literacy rate of Tamil Nadu was pretty low. And he wanted to find out why. School enrollment, the rate was low, many dropouts. And again, he wanted to find out why. Then he saw that children, the young teenagers, they were going to work with their parents in the match factory and other places. So he thinking how to increase the enrollment. Then he came up with the idea of midday meal, free midday meal. Before that, Kamara is not introduced. Yes, midday, just a rice kanji. That's all. Not very nutritious, not very tasty. It will be monotonous. Monday through Friday, same kanji. MGR wanted to give rice, sambar, avial, everything. So that will motivate the parents to send their children. The poor people, they won't be able to afford to provide that kind of a meal every day. For that, he needed money, crores of rupees. He approached the central government. At that time, Congress party was in the center, seeking the help. No, they didn't want to give him the money so that he will become more popular. He will become more popular. But he didn't give up. That is a leader, a guy with a true this one. He went after, he approached the international agencies, UNICEF and other this one. And he was able to get the money as well as the grain and everything. Very successful. Within 10 years, the literacy rate jumped up by nearly 10%. Now, I showed you experience will motivate, inspire. From that one, other state governments were inspired, motivated. They also introduced the midday meal program, including Kerala. That is a real life story of how experience in some other state, some other place, that will inspire. Are you convinced? If you are convinced, put C. Are you convinced with this example? Because I am trying to give real life examples, not bookish stuff. Bookish stuff, yeah, anybody can talk. Yeah, Prasad Nagaraju. Okay, thank you. So, like that, experience. Yes. Number 5, stories. All these Bible stories, Mahabharata, Ramayana, all these stories, inspiration to do many things. Fight for dharma. That's what in Gita, Krishna was saying, you must fight for establishing dharma. Inspiration. Animals. Animals can inspire you. I'm sure that almost all of you know this story. Robert Bruce, the Scottish king, he lost war 6 or 7 times. Then he was thinking he was so desperate, he dejected, and he thought of giving up. And he was sitting inside some kind of a cave. And he saw a spider was trying to build a cobweb. And several times the spider fell down, but again it would climb up. Again and again. So that from that spider he got that inspiration. Not to give up. He went, fought, and he won. Are you aware of this story? If you are aware of this story, put Y in the chat box. Yes. Are you aware of this story? So there, it was an animal, a spider inspired him. Thank you, Royji and Jayachandra-ji. Birds. The invention of aircraft, plane. Where did the man get that idea from? From watching the birds and how to fly. The plane has got 2 wings. Design and everything. And the helicopter also from another, this one. That one takes up and down. What is that one? That fly. Royji, do you remember that fly? It will go up and down. Not bumblebee.
No.
Not bumblebee. It's a different one. It's an insect.
Not able to.
Right now.
Not able to get it. Yeah.
Yeah. Right now, it's not coming to my mind. Okay. So the helicopter, that idea. Songs. Oh, many motivational songs, especially this one, secret power is. Because I can speak, write 3 different languages. Actually, 4 different languages. I'm going to say Malayalam movie songs, philosophical songs, and motivational songs. Tamil, MGR movie songs, always motivational. Then Hindi songs, movie songs. They all helping. Yes, I think that Dragonfly. Yeah, Dragonfly. Thank you, Archana-ji. So, like that, every day I listen to those songs again and again. Some songs I must have heard more than 100 times. They keep me motivated. On Tamil song, when I was facing some kind of a challenge or some desperate situation, on Kannadasan song, என்னதான் நடக்கும் நடக்கட்டுமே இருட்டினில் நீதி மறையட்டுமே தன்னாலே வெளிவரும். That is, whatever happened, let it happen. The truth or justice may hide in the darkness, but one day it will come out. That song motivated me a lot, inspired me to keep my optimism, sustain the optimism. To avoid criticism, do nothing, say nothing, and be nothing. Albert Hubbard. This is one thing, my dear friends, a take-home message from this session. If you forget everything else, please remember this one. Always there will be people who will criticize whatever you do, whatever you say. Even if you say the right thing, good thing, you won't be able to please everybody. There are some people, they are very good at finding fault. They will try to demotivate you. They will try to demoralize you. It happened till the age of 28, till my age. I used to, criticism, what will they say? What will they think? Okay, somebody is saying that, okay, no. I won't do this one. Okay, so I must be stupid. That's why I did that one. Then after reading some books, when the habit changed, I never used to read a lot of non-fiction books. Occasionally I used to read fiction books. After the age of 28, I started reading books on non-fiction. I felt self-empowered. And I learned that one. Criticism ignore the criticism. If you are afraid of criticism, let me show that slide once again. To avoid criticism, do nothing, say nothing, and be nothing. You will be a nobody. Look at the politicians, learn from the politicians. If Modi is afraid of criticism, if Rahul Gandhi is afraid of criticism, do you think that they will be able to do anything? Every day, thousands of people or millions of people, they criticize. Even world also leaders, they criticize. The lesson you learn from the politicians. I have changed my mindset. My mindset is now the mindset of a politician. I am not afraid of criticism. Okay. Okay. It is something like, there's an expression, English expression, the dogs will bark, but the caravan moves on. It won't stop. It won't stop because the dogs are barking. First, you must convince yourself, yes, what you are doing is right thing, and you have the hope that you will be able to succeed. Forget about others. Do you agree? If you agree, put A. Yes, the fear of criticism is the biggest fear that is standing as a big obstacle. Yes, Royji, obstacle in accomplishing our goals and success. चार लोग क्या करेंगे, क्या कहेंगे? As the old Kishore Kumar song also, remember, कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना. That is what people will keep on saying something. Just ignore. Don't give up. Desperate times breed desperate measures. Shakespeare. I don't need to explain. Don't let desperate situations make you do desperate things. Because desperation can trigger some of the emotional buttons. Fear. Fear. Fear is a very powerful emotional button. Then you won't be able to think rationally. You will do things which are irrational. Irrational things means stupid things. So desperate situation, take time. Don't jump to conclusions. Don't take a decision. Just wait. Give some time. And if you are very much upset, if you have a very good, trustworthy friend who has reasonably good amount of common sense, not any friend. Some friends, they are not good. Okay? People, friends with common sense, talk to them. They will be able to help you. And don't be ashamed. Seek their help. Because I did all those things. That is why. Not out of fear, out of some kind of a situation, helplessness. And I felt helpless. What to do? Then I consulted. I took one very good friend. Unfortunately, he is no more. He died 4 years back. He's from Bihar. Dr. Siddiqui. We did the residency training together. Any problem, anything at work related, I used to call him. I used to call him Siddiq Bhai. And you address me Chief. And you're just 1 or 2 years younger than me. 4 years back, he died in his sleep. Very peaceful death. I used to use him as a sounding board. A man with very good common sense. And he would listen to me. And he'd say, hey, Chief, I don't think that you should do this way. I think this way. Then he will explain also. Instead of going to any counselor, all of him, Siddiq Bhai was my lifeline. When they face desperation, human beings become animals. What do animals do? They fight. Desperation. They want to get something. Same way, man also. They also do many things irrational when they are desperate. Dan Brown is the author of the Da Vinci Code, very highly controversial book, and a movie was also shot on based on that novel. Desperate people are the most dangerous. Frank Herbert. Desperation breeds people who are willing to do anything to get what they need. These are all means that is a never let the desperation control you. Don't be trapped in that one, because out of desperation you may do many things. You will regret. It will cost you a lot. Is this point clear? If it is clear, put C in the chat box. I want you to remember this one. Yes, Archana ji, I want to remember. I'm giving you real life examples only, and some of the examples from my own personal life. Never underestimate desperate people. You never know how far they will go to get what they want. Real life situation. I'm not a politician, but real life examples are from the politics. You must learn many things from nature, from politics also. Look at that one. TMC, the political parties in India, Trinamool Congress, Indian National Congress, the Communist Party of India, maximum, the CPM, they were all not friends. In the past election, also assembly election, they used to fight against each other, bitter enemies. Now what is happening? Desperation. They all become friends. Desperate situation. They have formed an alliance, desperate, because they are all common enemies. Now, Modi. They want, by hook or crook, they want to get rid of him. They don't want him to come back. So, out of desperation, people with the so-called different ideology, they are all joined together, even Kejriwal and the Congress, they are all. Is this example convincing? What happens if there is desperation? If it is convincing, put C, my dear friends. If this one is convincing, if this is the best real life example. Okay, Jyoti Mukherjee, this is the example now. Okay, people who hate each other basically, and now they are all, buddies, they are all together. Okay, why? That is desperation. Thank you. I was able to convince you with a real life example what's going on. Desperation will allow you to do incredible things in the name of survival. That's what these parties, they want to survive. They want to survive now. Okay, they think that, okay, one more term for the BJP, okay, that'll be their end. So for survival, they are trying hard. Desperate maladies require desperate remedies. Overcoming depression and desperation in the time of COVID. Okay, I'm sure that is you. Some of you must be remembering. COVID pandemic created lot of phobia, fear, uncertainty, helplessness, hopelessness. And people tried different things without any rationality. Hydrochloroquine, this antibiotic, and cow dung, cow urine, and the one Belarus, that president, he recommended vodka, drink vodka, that will protect you from because the alcohol, the COVID won't be able to attack you like that, drinking vodka, all many such things, even Ayurveda people, the quacks, oh, do this one, eat chuk, ginger, and turmeric. Prasadji, do you agree? Everything. Out of fear. That is where I was not at all afraid. Because people stopped even thinking. I didn't. I started thinking, critically analyzing. I'm a medical doctor. I used my medical knowledge. Even many doctors, again, they didn't think critically. Yes, in USA, every year they give flu vaccine. Every year for nearly 4 or 5 months from October through March annually. It's free. You don't have to pay even a single penny for getting the vaccination. I didn't take even a single dose of the flu shot. I've been here practicing for nearly 30 years. Why? Am I against vaccination? No. I strongly support polio vaccination. I strongly support the tetanus and all those things. The flu, because the flu virus keeps on mutating. It keeps on changing. That's why every year they have to come with a new vaccine. Even then, in America, the top 10 leading causes of death is verifiable. Center for Disease Control, CDC, they publish every year the top 10 leading causes. Of the top 10 leading causes, flu is one of the top 10 leading causes. Then what did this vaccination accomplish? You get my point? It did good for the pharma company. Yes, it did good for the business of the drug manufacturers, not for the public. I didn't take that one. Not even once I fell sick. Maybe because of my strong immunity. The moment, if you are afraid, your immunity will go down. Jo dar gaya, Sholay dialogue, Gabbar Singh, wo mar gaya. Jo dar gaya, wo mar gaya. Jo dar gaya, uska immunity, so gir gaya. That is my this one. Immunity will go down. And they are vulnerable to infection. Some of the nurses and doctors who work with me, in spite of the fact they had the flu shot, they caught flu, and some of them had 1 week or 2 week long severe. So that is the lesson. I thought, okay, doesn't make any sense. This COVID virus, the coronavirus is a cousin of, structurally chemical cousin of, bacterial cousin of, biological cousin of flu virus. And obviously this vaccine is not going to protect, not going to help. I was right. Now we are all convinced. This didn't prevent, this didn't protect. But my friends here, medical doctors, they criticized me. I told you, if you are afraid of criticism, say nothing, do nothing, and be nothing. And then you are stupid, you are taking unnecessary risk. Again. And they took flu shot, the COVID, the vaccination. One guy, one of my friends, he's in USA, 4 shots, and he got COVID twice. You know, he's trying to rationalize. I am alive because of the vaccination. So, I am alive because I took those vaccinations. What about me? I didn't take any vaccination. I'm alive. I told him, I didn't take even one shot. I'm alive. And I didn't even catch that COVID. So how would you explain? That is the point. Out of desperation, I didn't feel desperate. I sat down and I analyzed. This is what I did. When you sell in desperation, you always sell cheap. That is out of desperation. Guys from India, especially the young software engineers, when they come here, they do a stupid thing just to impress their family back home and their relatives. They come here and they get a good pay. I won't say that pay is not good. Maybe around $100,000. Yes, good. And in this country, you can easily get bank loan. if you have that much of income, getting a bank loan is not difficult at all. For 35-year-old mortgage. But these guys, they come on H1 visa in USA. That visa is for up to 6 years. And it is for a particular employer. If that employer that is fires you because of layoff, just like that COVID pandemic, many employees, they lost their jobs. Google, Amazon. And if you lose your job, if you are on H1 visa, if you don't get another job within 60 days, that is 2 months, you'll have to leave the country. So it has happened, I know. Some people, okay, they lost their job and they already bought a house. They bought a house, they have put some down payment or some $20,000 and they bought a house worth some $300,000 or $400,000. Now what? They have to leave. They sell out of desperation. So they don't even get the price and everything, something they will get. Is this point clear? Have I given you a real life example? If it is clear, put C in the chat box. This is happening. Yes, Dr. Artinaji, thank you. And I do, whenever I come across a new guy from India, I want them, unsolicited advice, I tell them, hey, don't do any of those things. First you wait, only if you get after getting a green card, then you think about. Otherwise, your job uncertainty is a big risk. Nearly 70% of the people, they ignore my advice. They ignore advice because they learn it in the hard way. They learn it in the hard way. So that is what is happening. Sell cheap. We interpret life at moments of the deepest desperation. Chilean novelist. When many things happen in my life, at work, a lot of harassment, discrimination, retaliation, desperation. On those occasions, earlier I told you, Helen Keller, in my office room, 3 pictures. One Helen Keller, Stephen Hawking, then Nelson Mandela. Why? Why did I choose those 3 pictures? The kind of adversity they faced, challenges, 3 handicaps. In spite of that, she was very cheerful, optimistic, and she accomplished a lot. And Nelson Mandela, 27 years of solitary confinement. Solitary means he was not able to see anybody. Annually, once a year, one person he could see. Then once in 6 months, he can send a letter or receive a letter. But he didn't lose his confidence and everything. Stephen Hawking, wheelchair bound, he could not even speak, always cheerful. And I talked to myself, hey, Dr. Reddiar, look at these 3 people. See, when compared to the adversities, challenges faced, what about you or this one? Stop even grumbling. Don't even think of grumbling. Change your mindset. Face it. Then that MGR song comes. Varuvadai, this one. Ennadan nadakkum, nadakattume. That is how. Is this story, my real life story, interesting? If it is interesting, put I in the chat box. This is 100% authentic, interesting, Archanaji. Thank you. Yes, that is what I'm not a theoretician. I'm not just a preacher. I share ideas and thoughts if they are doable, they are feasible. If I have tried that one in my own life, it's not that, yeah, I preach, you do. It's not I preach, you practice. No, I preach what I practice. The desperate usually succeed because they have nothing to lose. That happened in my case also. In 2002, that is almost, say, 22 years back, I was in Iowa, in a VA medical center, hospital. How? That lady, my supervisor, she had a different sexual orientation. So she hated men. And she started harassing men. My colleague, Dr. Raju, he was harassed and intimidated. He couldn't take it. He resigned and ran away. Then other Gora guy also. Then she came after me. Then again, she creates all these false evidence, fabrication. Then in a situation when I thought, okay, I must fight because I have nothing more to lose. Do you follow me? I have nothing more to lose. Whatever she has done, already it has damaged my image and reputation. I have nothing more to lose. Fight. I fought and I won. So desperation also sometimes makes you fight when you have nothing more to lose and you succeed. The two greatest fear busters are knowledge and action. Yes, Dennis Waitley. You cannot succeed in life, you cannot thrive in life unless you are self-confident. If you don't have self-confidence, if you don't have confidence in your own abilities, your own self, whatever qualifications, the PhD, MBA, MD, DM, nothing will help you. Those qualifications are just on paper. Mind, self-confidence. And how do you get self-confidence? Self-confidence comes when you have strong knowledge, ample skills. And the knowledge and skills you don't get from your formal education, from PhD, college, MBA, or even for me also, MD, MRCP. No, that's not going to give you self-confidence. I learned from the school of life and from reading many books I must have read. I have a personal collection of nearly 1,200 non-fiction books. My own library. I send all those books to India. It is there in India. So reading, self-education, formal education, no. Look at Narendra Das Modi. Self-education. MGR, self-education. Jayalalitha, self-education. Self-confidence. They got the self-confidence from self-education. So knowledge gives the power. Thinking skills, yes. Is this really convincing? If he is really convincing, put CC. 2 C's. Okay, thank you, Artinaji. So that's what I tell people. Don't expect miracles. Going to temple is okay, good. Going to mosque or anything, good. But God cannot fix all your problems. Okay? You have to do your best. Then God will do the rest. First, you have to do. Simply not doing anything, cracking 100 coconuts. God, you fix my problems. It's not going to work. Then you blame the God. Oh, I did all you, God, you are so unkind. You are so, no. Self-confidence, self-knowledge, empower yourself. That's one of the reasons I'm giving this talk also. My mission, personal mission, is to enlighten and empower others. That's what I'm trying to do. This is my own personal mission. Enlighten and empower you. So it is not enough just to listen to this one. Watch this video again, because all these points you are not going to remember and retain in your memory. It will be just simply information. After this talk, it will just like that disappear. If you want it to convert into knowledge, watch this one again and sit and think. True friends are the antidote to desperation. I told you, it was my friend, that Dr. Siddiqui, one friend. Another friend, one Prem, 2 people. Many other friends are fake friends. When I was in The desperation situation, when they approach them, they have suddenly became busy. They became suddenly busy. They don't want to. You follow me? They don't want to even listen. And some people, they try to demotivate me. Sir, in the ஊர்ல துப்பாக்கி எல்லாம் இருக்கு. They have guns. Be careful. Don't fight against them. Such cowards. Then I realized only two people, really good friends, trustworthy friends. The antidote. Upcoming talk, every Thursday I give a talk. That is the next talk. Next Thursday, word power. After that, thought power. That is the Zoom link. The Zoom link remains the same. And the time and day also remains the same. So, now, thank you for joining this webinar. Any questions or comments? Did you find this session really entertaining, enlightening? Entertaining and enlightening. If you found that one, put EE. Entertaining, yes, okay. Entertaining and enlightening. Because I use my body language also. There are many speakers, they stiff, still. No, it'll be very boring. I'm an actor. I display all the emotions and show gestures, everything. That is the only way I can make sure that Prasadji won't run after his cats. He will sit and listen to me. Otherwise, his pet, they are all looking at him, staring at me. Where is my milk? Where is my that one? So he may leave. I don't want him to leave. So grab his attention and hold him there. Okay, now, questions or comments? Go ahead. And if possible, please, one, turn on the camera. Because imagine, suppose throughout the talk, I turned off the camera and I was giving the talk. Yeah, inspiration, desperation. Do it in that it would be possible for you to enjoy the session. The same way, it is a two-way communication. Turn on the camera. If you are not wearing a shirt, don't worry. Gandhiji showed you. It's okay not to wear a shirt. Okay? So turn on the camera and ask any question or share your thoughts. Okay, Prasadji.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, one example of desperation is a person who's drowning.
You will clutch the straw. You will clutch at anything.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, even straw is, he thinks that it can save his life, so he desperately, try to catch that.
Yes.
At the same time, if you are on the shore and if you want to rescue a person who's drowning, never give your hand to him. This is what I read somewhere, and you should throw something which he or she can catch, and then you can pull them out.
Yes.
If you give your hand to them, you will take their place, and they probably will, get to the shore.
Yes.
So this is something that I wanted to share.
Survival, desperate, they'll become selfish also. First thing is they will be selfish, a desperate person. He wouldn't think about anything else. He would think about his own, this one.
Yeah,
okay,
I think even in the flights, when they say, you have to put a mask, you put put first to yourself, and then you attend to your neighbors.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Royji.
No, I would say desperation is not bad. It's a double-edged sword. Now, basically, a lot of good things in this world has happened as out of desperation of people, right?
Yes.
So there are a lot of people who educate themselves because they see that there is no other choice but to improve their life, get better. They have to study, they have to improve, or they change the circumstance of the community, right? Like they can't see people dying, the polio vaccine and those kind of stuff, right? We have so many inspiring stories, but they came in out of desperation. So, desperation sometimes help us to perform at our peak, or help us to go above and beyond. Or it can be a strong source of motivation where we think that there is no way to go back, right?
Yes.
You just have to try and persevere. So desperation also can be very positive source. It can be a catalyst of change. It can be a nice wake up call. And then, yeah, so those kind of, I mean, I can see that's what I got from this call. I mean, this session today is basically desperation is not always negative or bad, but there
Not
can
all. I
be,
agree.
yeah,
The main thing is look at that the COVID pandemic,
yeah,
desperation. It generated desperation, and people forced them to come up with some new ideas to how to thrive. That's how that webinar
right.
desperation and many things. So online, many learning and the coaching sessions, and now counseling also online. Before that, nobody used to do the online counseling. Uh, Everything that is a positive outcome out of desperation. And
Many companies wanted to digitally transform themselves,
mm,
and most of the companies were struggling because people didn't see value of it and they were scared and afraid. But COVID accelerated digital transformation of the whole world, right?
right,
So Zoom is one of them, but many other. And now we can see we all connect and talk as effective as we were sitting, as if we are sitting next to each other.
right.
But technology has enabled a lot of things which we couldn't believe was possible. So we could see all this happened out of those desperate times.
The same way, work from home also. They
Yeah,
never thought of doing that one out of
No,
desperation. Now,
e-
work from home, that also came.
right.
Lot of things.
even though the technology was available, I think Zoom was available even before
Yeah,
pandemic.
yeah,
But
correct.
adaptation or acceptance came only when people were pushed to a corner.
Yes.
Yeah,
And but the fact is, 90% of the time when people face desperation, they do stupid things, crazy things. That's one of the reasons the blackmail is there. Blackmailing, how does it work? A fear, inject fear. Then you become desperate and you give whatever they ask for. Just 2 weeks back, my own friend, we did the medical, we worked in we studied in the same medical school. He is around 73 or 74. He is 2 years older than me. And he is in Karnataka. Okay? He's retired. And he has got some savings also. And he told me after the event, somebody called him, said that is from the CBA, the officer. And he said that, okay, now in his name, he gave him the number of his Aadhaar card number,
oh, this
PAN
is
number.
common now.
They were all correct. And there's a bank account opened in your name in Bombay, and some transactions. They're all something about the PMLA under that one. And you will be arrested. And this is a serious offense. And within 1 hour, somebody will come to and arrest you. He got immediately panicked, desperation. And they asked them to give money, 13 lakh rupees. Gone, 13 lakhs. Then his son, who was again staying in the same apartment complex, he was above his authority. He didn't even ask him, consult him out of fear. He gave everything. After the event, he developed some kind of a chest discomfort because of losing that 13 lakhs. So then when he called his son and he told him about the situation, he said, that is the stupidest thing. You did that one. And they reported cybercrime, nothing. And then this guy chest discovered and he was taken to the hospital and they had to put a new stent. Okay, he lost 13 lakhs and he developed the heart attack, everything out of desperation. Do you follow me? Blackmailers, they thrive because of this. And in my case also, desperate, an interesting story. Here, all this what you call marketing, or many things they call. And it's a nuisance. Even though say you can block this one, you can report that one. I did all those things. It's not working. I used to tell them, please remove me from your calling list. Please don't call me. Oh, sorry. Okay. But again, it will come from a different number. again and again, every day, 4 to 5 calls. Then I came up with my own idea. Desperation gave me the idea. And I don't answer. I hold the phone. I won't say hello. I will wait for the other person to talk. And when the other person talks, it's the Venugopal Reddiar. Then I knew that, okay, this person is not from my bank or anything. Then I would say, Yenda vendadu? Endana enne vilichadu? So I would speak in Malayalam. Okay, Yenda vendadu? Endana vendadu? Can you speak English? Alla, endana ningal parayunnu enikku manasayilla. Endinana enne vilichadu? Endinana? Then that person will hang up. Then after a few days, the calls dropped. I'm not getting any calls from the that desperation. That desperation acted as an inspiration to come up with a solution. Okay, that is the way. Okay. Anybody else? All right. Any other? Whether there's a Naveen ji or Anu ji, Ramesh ji, Mario ji, or Jaychandra ji, do you want to ask any question or share your thoughts?
No, what is the role of hormones in this inspiration and desperation?
Okay, now, in desperation, definitely, actually the stress hormones will be released. Cortisol, adrenaline. And that is when the blood pressure will go up. All those things, many things will happen, negative things. And inspiration, that is feel-good hormones. If you are motivated, you think, oh, that idea is good. Okay, it will work. I will be able to succeed. And optimism and everything. Feel-good hormones. The other one, pessimism. All these stress hormones.
Okay.
So time management and everything, okay. Now, we started some 3 or 4 minutes late. So now we have another 2 or 3 minutes also left. If anybody wants to say something or... Jaychandran ji, do you want to say something?
You know, there is also this saying said that, you know, a lot of immigrants succeed in many of the country, like the what you call the paranoid. I forget that theory. They call that why paranoid succeed, or you know, those kind of people, like, or immigrant, because you go to a country and people within the growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. So
Yes.
though it sounds very good to be inspired and to go doing, but a lot of such things don't happen, right? It always, generally the starting point is some level of some sort of desperation, right? And then it can lead to, like, the story you said about he losing that war 7 times, and then he's dejected, sitting there, desperate, frustrated, whatever it is, and he sees this spider, and then suddenly, you know, he gets inspired.
Right.
So that's what actually most of these best things have happened when, and that's why people say it's good to induce some stress among students, again, athletes, everyone, but not go beyond a point, because once you go, the peak is over, then the negative things come in, because that's where the tipping point happen, and then all these stress hormones come in, and then you start
Yes.
performing negatively,
Yes.
right? And
Failure
the
is
burnout.
always, failure will help you, like, in the long run succeed.
Yeah,
Children, they
exactly.
must experience some failure, but these days parents won't let them.
Yeah,
And they put a
exactly.
lot of pressure unnecessarily. Winning is everything. No, that's why with my son, when he went to school, here as well as in India, I sent him from the 8th grade, he studied in India till his MBA. 10 years he studied there. First thing I told him, never try to be number 1 in the class. First thing, never try to be number 1. That will be a lot of unnecessary stress. You will be inviting more stress. Then if you want to be the number 1, what about all the other kids? They also would want to be number 1. Then, so I was not number 1, I told him. Albert Einstein was not number 1. And although the sky won't fall down on you, but try to be within the top 20 or 25%. Suppose there are 25 children, try to be within that one, because in the long run. So that one gave him a lot of, that is no pressure. No pressure. And if he did, it's score, I never used to scold him. I said, okay, find out where did he go wrong and try to fix that one. You sit and find out where did he go wrong and fix that one. That should be the way, the right parenting. But that's not what is happening now.
Yeah.
That's not at all what is happening. And free time, I never send him for any tuition. In India, from the 8th grade onwards, the moment I send him to study there, my friends and relatives, they said, oh, for mathematics, there is this sir, he is in that Keshavasuram. For this one, science, I said, I'm not going to send him for any tuition. This is not America. Okay, now the criticism comes. I told you, if you're afraid of criticism, say nothing, do nothing, and be nothing. Oh, this is not America. I know, this is not America. Tuition is required. I think that, I don't think that. You just provide him all the resources and give him. These days, internet is available. Whatever you want to get more information, you can. Oh, no. You are in America and he is here and you are going to give him the internet connection and everything. They will go to some other site and all those things. They will get spoiled. I said, no, I have trust. I have confidence. The way I have raised him, I know that is he will do. Yeah. And they said, you are making your son a guinea pig. You are arrogant. You are making your son a guinea pig. Okay, you will regret for all these things. And he didn't go for a tuition. He passed the 10th grade with the distinction. And a couple of guys who wanted me to send him to the tuition, they came to find out what happened to his examination result and all those. They came to my home pretending that they came just like that. And in the conversation, that, what about your son? And what about his exam? Yeah, they were looking for that one. That is like he failed or something like that. I told him he passed with the distinction. Do you know their response? Genes, because your genes, that is why distinction. What about that 4 years back, 3 years back, it was not my genes? I didn't argue. I thought I laugh inside this one. So 3 years back, it was not my genes. Now when you got the distinction, this is my genes. That is what it is. So no tuition, everything. And I told him again, for he went for MBA at Symbiosis. I told him right from the beginning, I won't get seat on NRI quota. You know, non-resident Indian, I can afford to, I have the money, I can easily buy him a admission. No, you must do it on your own. Then only you will feel that sense of accomplishment. Your self-esteem, I want your self-esteem to grow. Otherwise, down the road, if somebody says that, you are able to get into Symbiosis because your father, doctor, is in America. So he studied well and he got admission on his own, on merit basis, not on MRI, the NRI quota. These are the things a parent should do. Okay, so is it okay to now wind up?
Yeah, just a point, to add to what Mr. Roy mentioned, the desperation also brings in kind of camaraderie. Sindhis who lost everything and they had to run away from, come back to India empty-handed. And also, the Marwadis from Rajasthan, finding it difficult to make a survival in Rajasthan, they spread all over India and, they congregate and they support each other. So, yeah, just thought I'll.
Prasadji, and it's a fact. Thousands of people every day commit suicide in India. Why do they commit suicide? Out of desperation. Out of desperation, nobody commits suicide. That fear, situation, everything. So, desperation, most of the time, many people, they don't feel empowered. For that, you need that self-confidence, your own knowledge and skills. Then only, when an adversity strikes you, you will be able to cope with that one. That's the point.
Right. I mean, Professor, if you put the stress versus performance on an X and Y axis, And you will see it is a graph, like when the stress goes up, performance also improves. Our productivity, our ability to do better improves. And then at some point of time, and again, that point depends on person to person. So then it actually falls. And then you have all these negative consequences, burnout, suicide, frustration, whatever you can say, all negative things. But there is a peak. Now, that is the time you need to know whether when to quit, when to withdraw. But people don't, and some of them actually burn out. Some of them can do all the negative thing. But point is that if we can increase our stress enduring capacity, means our peak, we can perform much more. But nowadays, the way our children, as you know, Venugopal sir was talking about, the capacity to endure stress, to tolerate stress is becoming lower compared to our fathers and, forefathers, because the life was tough then, right? There was no, for a mother, for a lady, for everyone, medical, everything, life was not that easiest then. So they were much more rugged and strong and, enduring. But today things have become very convenient. Sit on a couch and you can order everything, do everything. Yeah.
Not only that one, Royji. In the past, they used to have at least 3 to 6 children. So
Yeah.
they didn't have more free time to give attention to one child. Here is a one child. So they are all all the free time. All the free time. They torture the child. The other one, they didn't have the time to. Because they will say, okay, take care of yourself. You do everything on your own. So they gave them the freedom to experiment, freedom to fail and everything. Now it is not happening. That's another reason, problem. And so all these things, take home this message. And long time back, I never thought, say 40 years back, if somebody had told me that you would one day go to America and you would practice in America, I would have said, forget about it. I cannot even speak English fluently. I cannot even understand an English movie. And if you are saying that, if you say, I'll go to America, no way. But I realized what was the real reason why I was not able to speak English fluently. Vocabulary. Nobody taught me. My vocabulary was poor. Then I worked on improving my vocabulary. Before that, I used to read only the newspapers. Then I subscribed to Hindu newspaper. And every day I used to read the editorial. Editorial will be every day on a different topic. This may be terrorism, another one may be inflation, the other one is something like that. And the climate. So new words. Then I bought dictionary. Very expensive dictionary at that time, long time back, 40 years back, 1,200 rupees, 3 volumes of Merriam-Webster dictionary. And I would refer that one and write down the word, definition. And because I was became a faculty in the medical college, I had the opportunity to use that one on the next day in the classroom. My students, okay? So I used to use a new word every day, new 2 or 3 words. Because once I came across zillions. You have heard the term millions, billions. Have you heard the word zillions, Prasadji? Zillion, Z, is it?
Yeah.
Zillions, and that it was new for me. Zillions means you cannot even count. Millions and billions you can count. You cannot count, that is zillions. Okay, next day in the class, students were there. You know that is, we are all surrounded by zillions of invisible viruses and bacteria. And they couldn't understand what I'm talking about. Then I asked him, do you know what zillions means? They said, no. You don't know? okay. Then I explained that one. But I learned that one on the previous day. Okay. I was not also aware of that word. So like that, I expanded my vocabulary. Then soon everything changed. Everything changed. And I'm giving the webinars and everything because I put that effort in self-empowerment, self-education. That's it. Okay. Good night. And I will share the video recording and the PowerPoint, that one also PDF file with Prasadji soon. Okay? Right.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have
Bye.
a great day, Dr. Venugopal. Thank you
Right.
for this inspiring presentation. Thank you.